Hello everyone, this is Professor Maloney, and today I'm creating another programming example recording. And I apologize, I did this horrible thing. I know you say, how could he shave up there? I've had a little accident up there, and it was literally when I was shaving a few days ago, and it's still there. I'm thinking, oh my God. Anyway, so sorry about that. And anyway, so yeah, today I'm creating another video recording example. This one is going to be doing programming exercise 7-4. Now, it won't be doing programming exercise 7-4. It'll be giving you the information you need so that you can do that program, okay? And this one is using string manipulation. You know, I keep talking about almost every chapter these days about how string manipulation is part of C++, and we only show little bits every chapter. And now we're going to be coming into the last chapter of this course starting next week, and that'll be the week after, I guess. That'll be units, next week is, the start of unit 8. But in any event, that's arrays, by the way, arrays. But this one is going to be the last thing we do with string manipulation in this class, all right? So what is it? Well, so what I'm going to be doing in this particular program is to replicate what they want you to do for programming exercise 7-4. So the best way to show it is for me to literally show it. So let's stop showing me and let's go over and let me share my screen. And once I'm sharing my screen, I've already got MindTap up. Okay. Now let's make sure again I'm recording. Yes, I am recording. Test, test, test. I am recording here. Let's verify again up here. Yes, I'm recording. I am sharing. Yes, I'm sharing. All right. So over here, we don't need this. All right. So in MindTap, all right, here is programming exercise 7-4. All right. So I'm going to click start the assignment now, even though I'm not going to be doing it. But I'm telling you, as I've been telling you a lot lately, when I give you something, it's going to be extremely close. So let's read. It says, write a program that prompts the user to input a string. The string is only one word. All right, that's all we're going to be doing in this particular example. So the program then used, and this one also, it only needs one word. Okay, and mine is going to only need one word. All right, so the program, once the user enters a string, is going to use a function substring to remove all the vowels from the string. So for example, if string equals there with a capital T, little H-E-R-E, okay, then after removing the vowels, string will be T-H-R, because there's only one vowel, E, and there are two occurrences of E, all right? So that is what you're going to do. After removing all the vowels, output the string, meaning this, THR in this example. Your program must contain a function to remove all the vowels and a function to determine whether a character is a vowel. So one, you notice, is the string, and the other is a character, because each character of the string. So one of our functions is going to be a Boolean, and one is going to be a string. But it's also going to be a string with an ampersand, which I talked about in either chapter 4 or 5. When you have a string and an ampersand right after it, that basically means it's a direct reference. Okay, so all you're going to have to do is do the code I do, and then use the same direct string reference with the ampersand for when you do your code. All right. Okay, so that's what we're going to do here. Now I'm not going to do vowels, but I'm going to have, the same intent. All right. So here now is mine. All right, so here's an example for students to help them do Prog Exer 7-4. In this challenge, they have to get rid of the letters D, little d, big D, little m, big M, little s, big S, and little w, big W. Pretend they're vowels. Obviously, they're not. There are A, E, I, O, and U, and sometimes Y. I don't know how 7-4 is going to deal with that, but you'll know when you do it, but for sure it's no big deal. So you can pretend these are vowels. You can pretend it's A, E, I, and O anyway, okay? All right, now write a remove letters function to remove those letters. In your case, the other one, it's remove vowels, I believe they said, okay? And then write a looking for function to determine whether those letters are in the string, All right. All right. So what do we have? We're going to have our pound include string, because this thing is using string library. Using string library. Okay. To allow string manipulation. All right. Okay. Now, non-value returning oops. What say? Choose my changes. What the heck's contents diverged? What would you like to do? Choose server changes. I don't know what they're saying here. Hopefully it's okay. All right. Anyway, so what we're doing is, so we got the pound include IO stream. Let's go ahead and delete that. That empty space that is. And pound include strings, we're using string library to allow string manipulation. Okay. All right. So here is the void. Remember, we had a void function in chapter 6 and or chapter 7. Basically, if it's a void, you're not returning a value. All right. So non-value returning. Line 5 is describing what we're doing in line 6. So void means it's a non-value returning function, which means we're not going to return it to any calling procedure in int main, but we will be using it with this other function, Boolean looking for. Okay. All right. So your void remove letters can be void remove vowels, but it's string with an ampersand at the end because it's a direct reference. Okay. Direct reference with a string, you need the string ampersand. So do that just the way I've done it, and you'll be fine. All right. And then the second function is a looking for, because we're looking for certain characters. In my case, these are what we're looking for. So obviously we're going to have either a switch structure. Actually, I am going to use the switch structure here with case statements. Okay. And in your case, you should do the same with programming exercise 7-4. All right. So void remove letters, string ampersand string is the argument, and value returning function prototype looking a Boolean looking for, and it's a char, because remember, when we do string manipulation, we're looking at each char or each character off the string. Okay. All right. So now we're in int main. String string. Obviously, this is just represents the word entered by user. Okay. So we're telling them enter a word with one or more of the selected characters, because there's lots of words that don't have DMSW, right? But I want to demonstrate with those so you can see what will happen. All right. So enter a word with one or more of the selected characters, and then you just put these. In your case, it's going to be enter a word with well, enter a word. I don't think a word can have no vowels. So enter a word. And whatever they tell you in this thing here, just in case they tell you specific instructions in terms of what to say. All right. All right. So we're specifically wanting a word that has at least one or two, doesn't matter, of these things here to remove them. And the reason I have on both cases is just little d, big D, little m, big M, little s, big S, little w, big W. We alternatively could have used a 2 lower or 2 upper case with our string, but that doesn't matter. This is what I did in the program I actually did for programming exercise 7-4, and the big and little did work for the vowels. Okay. All right. So, and we're storing what they enter into the C input statement string. All right. STR string right up here. All right. So then before removing the selected letters, I want to put the word. They also want you to do this. So in your case, it's exactly the same so far, other than having the remove letters be remove vowels. Okay. Looking for, maybe it says look for vowels. I don't remember, but either way, again, you have the exact void function with a string ampersand, and then call it str, and you can call the other one str. And then the Boolean, char or character, what that means again, and you use ch, which we typically use for char. All right. So, and then before removing the selected letters, so this is the word, and then we're already calling the function remove letters, because we have to then see which letters from the word might need to be removed. And you notice there's not a reference here to looking for. This is the Boolean, okay? The Boolean. But what we're going to do, this function here, remove letters string, okay, is the void That's the one where we've got the string with the ampersand, and we're going to be trying to make sure that that word has none of the letters that we're wanting to take out, okay? So we're going to do that though outside of int main. So before removing the selected letters, that's the word, this str, okay? After, and then we're calling it, so we're calling remove letter string, which means we're going down here. This is now after int main. So we're doing remove letters, all right? And as part of remove letters, remember that you have to have the void, the same statement here, but with no semicolon as you have up here in the void. So void remove letters, open parenthesis string, ampersand string, close parenthesis, and then semicolon. Here it's the same but with no semicolon, okay? And then within remove letters though, we're then calling the looking for, okay? Looking for is then underneath. This is the actual Boolean, meaning that what we're returning obviously is the value is either whatever it is that we're doing, one char. So we're returning the value true or the value false, like Booleans do, okay? If it happens to be these letters, D, either little or big D, little or big M, little or big S, little or big W, return true means remove them, right? We're going to remove them. If it's not those, then the default for any of the other 21 or 22 letters in the alphabet will be false, which means we're not going to remove them, okay? So that's all we're doing. But remember, this one here is going to return, see, return, but where is it? It's not returning to the int main, but it's returning to the calling procedure. Here's the calling procedure where it said if looking for. And where is that? That's in the void, because this thing here is not returning anything back to int main. It's doing it here and then just putting out the results, okay? All right, so now let's talk about, let's run it, give an example or a couple examples. And I didn't do it as a test deck, I didn't write them down, but obviously it's pretty easy. So we're looking for a word that has at least two of these. So like word would have a W and it would have a D, so that would be one with two. Let's see, we don't have any vowels included in any of these. Oh, dumb, D-U-M-B, dumb would have D and M. So we could test for word or would or dumb. That'll be our three tests, okay? So run it. So let's start with dumb. All right, so enter a word. And I'll do it first in caps. Oops. First in caps, U-M-B, okay? And enter. So before removing the selected letters, you don't need to do this in your program. I want it to show you step by step how it's removing them, okay? So before removing the selected letters, you do need this statement in your program. So go back up here and I'll show you. So enter a word, okay? Before removing the selected letters, right here in line 15, all right? Then we're putting the word, sorry, before removing the selected letters, we're putting the word dumb. In this case, that's STR. So that's line 15, okay? Then we're calling remove letters string, okay? So we're calling the function remove letters string, comes down here, sorry, comes down here to remove letters, okay? Remember string, ampersand string, and then it's going through the process. So first of all, it's assigning the length, okay? So I have an integer called len for length equals the string dot length. So in this case, the string dot length is 4. There's 4 characters, okay? From int length equals string dot length. So we're taking the string, we're assigning it over to length. Then we're starting with index equals 0, all right? And then I put this string test here. This is the one that's going to show you what, every iteration to show you when the characters are coming out, okay? I said here though, line 26, delete this line after showing students what it does in the if statement logic below. So I will then be deleting this because it's not included. You don't need it in your program, okay? But then I have also where I reference these things up top. Let me just make sure where anywhere I refer to something, I put the big delete here. So here I have that. In int main, I think I have string test somewhere. String. I do not. Okay, I've got string test here. So line 26 would also be deleted, or would be deleted if that's the first one I've said so far. Okay, and then where I put here, next line finds the character and deletes it. Again, this is just for your information as I talk our way through what's happened up here. We got DUMB, then we again start with DUMB, then we have UMB, and then we have UB. Okay, so each iteration of character is either going to be deleted or not, depending on the letter. All right. Okay, so this will also, so line 31, which is the comment, will be deleted. Line 32, which is where I'm assigning string to string test, just to show you that this, the DUMB here, the UMB here, and the UB here, this is string test, and it's only again to show what you, how it's doing it. But you won't need this in your program, so you won't need 31 or 32. And then 33 you won't need, because that's where I just did the coot statement to show it. So 31, 32, 33 will all be deleted. All right. All right. So then we're calling, so in our function here, looking for, so if looking for has the values we're looking for, remove letters, then the if looking for. So this is the second function, right? The function looking for is the one using the Boolean. These are the letters we're looking for. In your case, it'll be little a, big A, little e, big E, little I, big I, little o, big O, little u, big U. Okay, that would be the traditional vowels, A, E, I, O, U. Yours will be exactly the same, other than if they tell you a specific definition for the Boolean. And char ch is perfectly fine. Bool is perfectly fine. Just like up here in this one, void is definitely fine. Remove letters with the string ampersand str, perfectly fine. That's what you need. All right. Okay. So now I entered the word dumb. So now let's specifically see what's happening with it. All right. So here's where we entered the word. All right. And before removing the selected letters, str, that's this one right here. That's the word dumb. Okay. Then after removing the selected letters, you see the UB. That's all that's here. But if you notice, before I get to the after removing, I'm putting the DUMB and the UMB because they're still, this is during the iteration down here. Okay. So remember what's happening here is I'm calling. So here I've got the word, right? Enter a word. Before that's the word str. And then when I call remove letters str, so now I'm down here with the word DUMB. Okay, we have the length, it's 4 characters. We're starting at 0, which means we're going to go from 0 through 3. All right. I put string test again. That was just for me. And then while index is less than length. Index is 0, which means what? With a length of 4, you got 0, 1, 2, and 3. So that's why index will be less than length, because length is 4. So we're doing 0, 1, 2, 3 in the while loop. Remember a loop, just iterating through all 4 characters. So the first character it's iterating through is the index, which is 0. And we're, again, going to go to 0, 1, 2, and then 3. So the first character, in other words, is 0. And that first character is a capital D. All right, capital D. So now, if looking for, this is going to be a capital D. The string is dumb. The index is D. So we got to go to looking for. So now we're in looking for. We're looking for a capital D. Well, here's a case little d and a case big D. So this is the case that gives the answer that it is true, it is there. So D is now here and it's seen, okay? So for D, it's going to return true, which means we have it, which means then it's going to be deleted. Here's where it gets deleted. The string, this is in the first function again, the looking for function, okay? Remember here we're coming down with the characters. So dumb equals dumb. That was again just so that I have the test. And then this is me putting the test. So again, you don't need that. But the first 0, which means the first character in the string, the str string, is the capital letter D. So, excuse me. So, excuse me. So when we're doing our values, we're starting there. And then remember, this is a while. So we're going to be iterating up until the while and then through. This is the beginning of the while. So this is the end of the while right here, line 39. So all these things are being done character by character. So down here, we have the capital D. We don't want a capital D because it is being removed, right? It's a little d, a big D. So it's the big D, so we want to remove it. So here's what happens because it was true. So the string dot substring 0, okay, index is also 0 at this point, and the string dot substring index +1. What this line here, the second part of line 34, is doing is it's moving to the next character but not saving the string. It's saying string dot substring now is the next character, and the string dot length is now one less. The length equals string dot length. So we're going down as we're going through the iteration. So capital D, in other words, has been pulled. So this is the first time through the dumb, and now the capital D is gone. All right. So then we come back up for the second. So now we're at 1. 1 is less than the length, meaning it's 1, 2, and 3 still to go. So we have 3 more letters to go. We're on capital letter U right here, right there. Capital letter U on the right side of my screen that I'm hovering my cursor on. Okay. All right. So now it's U, but it hits if looking for string index. Remember, string is dumb. Index is a capital letter U. So it has to go to looking for. So it's carrying U to looking for. Here's looking for. It's looking for U. No, 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 and no. It does not find U. So the default, meaning the other 22 or so letters, it's false. So now it is false up here. Okay. So we don't get rid of U. So now this is that next iteration. It's UMB. Okay. Because remember, it's carrying the string, even though I'm only talking about the index. So the first iteration, see, here's the word dumb. But after it goes through it, officially, it's going to go through these character by character. And then the after removing the selected characters is letters is after the loop is completed. I'm just putting these here. Remember, I told you because I wanted you to see which ones are being removed as they're being removed. So the first one was the full word dumb. The second one, because the first character was the capital D, it was removed. So then the second time, it's UMB, all right? Then the U is not one of the letters we want to get rid of. So in this case, we don't have to do anything about removing. So we're just going to the next value, which is now going to be 2. 0, 1, 2, and 3 are the ones we're going through. So now we're up here again. Well, really, let's show the word again. So the word, we'll show it on the right side. So the word is dumb, okay? And the third character, meaning the 0, 1, 2, so the third character is a capital M. So that's going to come in here. The word is still dumb for STR, but the index is the capital M, comes down here. Capital M, oh, capital M is in it, okay? So it will be removed. So right now it's UMB. After it goes back up with a return of true, okay, then it's true, so it's doing what's involved in here. So we're going to have the big letter M removed. So the same thing. String was DUM at this point, okay? String dot substring 0 and index. Index is now 2, okay? Plus string dot substring, again, meaning it is moving. It's not saving it, it's going to the next and deleting is what this is amounting to be doing for us, okay? So then the string dot substring index +1 to move us to the fourth character in the length, meaning the third character in the index world, 0, 1, 2, 3, all right? So then we've gotten rid of the U, the D, and now we're getting rid of the M, and we're going back up for the last letter, which is the B. So now the B is here we got the U and the B left because the U wasn't a letter. And after we go back up here to the character 4 in the length, it's the capital letter B. So it goes down again. So now we're looking for B. Okay, so we went to, looking for. B is not one of these from line 46 to line 53. So it returns false, meaning it goes to the next value but keeps the word. And then that's all that's left, U and B. Okay. Let's now run through one more time with a different one of these words. So I said dumb. Now let's do actually dumb in small, just so you can kind of see that it does go both ways. All right, so here, DUMB this way. It's the same thing. So there's the full word dumb. Here's the word before, officially this line of code, before removing. So line 15 is where this dumb here is getting, okay? But then we're going to the removed letters, so we're doing our work, and then it's going through 0, 1, 2, 3, but the word being dumb and small, and it does the same thing. Well, the D is a letter. And we can just look here instead of going back to the screen. Actually, you can see at the bottom or the top part of the screen here. So in this case, it's the letter, the little d, which is this one, okay? But anyway, so then it goes through the same others. So D it removes, M, little m it removed, but little u no and little b no, because they weren't part of the letters for us to then skip over the index, meaning to get rid of them. All right, so that is that. So dumb and dumb. Now let's do it with, what did we say? We had word. So word in small. So the word, here's the word word when we get to the loop. And then the W goes away because W is, a little w is a word, a character that we want to eliminate. And then it gets down to, all right, ORD is left. Okay. Oh, sorry, there's two. And then after ORD, so then it goes to the O, it won't get rid of anything. Goes to the R, it won't get rid of anything. Then it gets to the D. Well, the D is a character we want to get rid of, like we wanted to get rid of the W. So once we get rid of the W and the D, now all that's left is OR. And OR is left because they're not any of these characters here. Or if we're going down to look in the Boolean portion here, we don't have O, we don't have R, so therefore they stay. They were returned as false, otherwise true. All right? Okay, now I think that shows it enough. All right, so let's go ahead and have you this time make your copy of this, or take your pictures of this. Okay, again, there's quite a few notes, so I want to make sure though that you're a-okay with it. Let's take 15 seconds or whatever. This one for sure is not going to be more than 45 minutes. So from line 1 through line 14, please. Okay, and remember, you can delete. Maybe I don't want to show my deletions because I'd rather you have it. Actually, you know what? I think I will get rid of my stuff. I'll get rid of my stuff, and if you want to ask it in class, you can. So let me go ahead and down here and get rid of everything I said I wanted to get rid of. So here is string test. So here's string test. I don't want that anymore. So let's get rid of string test. Okay, that's just a variable. Get that up there. Okay, and now here I'm saying I'm looking at the beginning of string. It deletes them. This is just, actually that part's okay. But now I want to get rid of this part. Okay, the string test equals string down to string test. These we don't want. Delete. Okay, that we do want, that we do want, that we do want, and that we do want. So that should be what we want now. But let's verify, actually, since I deleted those 3 or so lines. So mood would work. Let's say let's do this one in caps again, M-O-O-D. Okay, so in this case, before removing the selected letters mood, and then after, see, now you don't see the stuff in between anymore, right? Because I got rid of the extra variable that I was calling str test, okay? And now the only letters left are O and O, because M is right here. It's one that I want to get rid of, and mood, M-O-O-D. And then this D is also one I want to get rid of, okay? So O are left, all right? Okay, so now you can do from line, fix that. Line 1 to line 14, all right? Please take a picture of that. All right, line 1 through line 14. Okay, 5 more seconds. Okay, so now, 15 to 30. All right, so line 15 down to line 30. Again, a lot of it is just the comments. Line 15 down to line 30. 5 more seconds, please. Okay, so that's down to 30. And then 31. So 31. down to 50. Won't quite finish it. So line 31 to line 50. And your, by the way, again, as a reminder, this little d would be a little a. The big D would be a big A. The little m would be a little e. The big M would be a big E. The next one would be I, and the next one O and O, okay, for what you're doing. All right, so that's down through line 50. And then 51, that. I didn't put the test deck, so let me just type in a test deck here. / test deck. Whoops. Deck. Enter the word mood, and OO will be the only remaining letters after you remove M and D. Okay? Enter the word mood in lowercase, and oh wait, that should be big O, and OO, okay? And little o will be the remaining letters. Enter the word dumb or dumb, and let's see, D is good, M same thing. U and B would be the ones that would be remaining, right? D goes, and M goes, D and M. So U and B would be, so, and UB and UB and UB would be the remainings, That's enough. 2 would be an example, okay? All right, so take a picture of that, and we are done, all right? Now, you literally, this is the easiest of these yet. You take my exact code. All you're going to change is this. You're going to change the case. You're going to keep the exact case structure. So you don't need to change whatever the word is up here, the switch. You don't need to change the bool looking for unless they tell you to name it a certain thing. You don't need to change the char or the ch. You don't need to change anything unless you're told to do so. But you're going to change the D for A, the M for E, the S for I, the W for O, and then you're going to have to add another one for a little u and a big U. All right? They'd all be returned true, and then the default return false. Okay? So you'd have to change that. Up here, in the looking for, you don't need to change any of it. You can literally copy everything here, including the while. So the only thing you have to do is make sure that the characters you're looking for is the ones, you know, that you have to do for the vowels. Okay, A, E, I, O, and U. All right. And then if the text says enter a word with one or more of the selected characters, this is fine, but you change this to A, E, I, O, or U, you know, if you want to get rid of those letters. So they may be saying it, enter a word with, you know, I don't know, with, you know, certain number of vowels or whatever. But point being, here, if you do put a note for the user as to what they should enter, make sure it's A, E, I, O, and U, little and big, okay? And then the first str, again, is going to be the word they entered. The second str here is after they call the function, and they go down and do the work in the function, okay? So that's all you have to do. I'm telling you, all right? So have a great day. Have a great Thanksgiving. Enjoy your holiday with your family. If you have Thursday, well, you have a Thursday class with me, so that's going to be a holiday. If you have a Friday class or a Saturday class, then they're also holidays this week, all right? I will be back with you on Tuesday, November 30th, okay, to introduce Chapter 8 or Unit 8, and then on Thursday, the 2nd of December, to introduce the first programming example from the arrays chapter, arrays, A-R-R-A-Y-S, arrays. So Thursday the 2nd, that'd be example 1. And then Tuesday the 7th of December would be Unit 8 programming example 2. And then Thursday, December 9 will be your practice exam for Unit units 7 and 8. And then Tuesday the 14th is your actual exam date. Final exam, which in this class is not comprehensive. It's just units 7 and 8. Have a great time. Oh, please, if you have not done your student feedback, do your feedback. Did your professor let you know how you're doing in the class? Did he give you examples? Did he do whatever, all those things? If it's no, then that's you. Then say, no, Professor Maloney let me down. Well, sorry about that. But that's a fact. In which case, it's okay for you to say that. Hopefully, most of you had a good experience in this class. Hopefully, everyone had a good experience. But anyway, so please do your student feedback. All right. All right. Have a great Thanksgiving, and I'll see you on Tuesday the 29th. Have a great day. Bye-bye.